So Iranian regime sees that it will have more consequences, beyond the condemnation and just increasing the political cost.
Let me ask you a question, and I preface it with a disclaimer to say that I mean this as no measure of disrespect to you and other folks who worked so hard to get this on the floor of the UN and the resolution passed. But for people who are listening around the world and who can be quite cynical about what we've seen the UN do and not do in the past, what does this really mean? Okay, there was a vote. I mean, so how is this going to actually practically help the people on the streets of Iran?
That's a very good question. So first of all, we should keep in mind that it's people on the streets of Iran who are going to do the main job. Nobody from outside, and especially not UN. But what happened last week at the UN, it has two important parts. One is the symbolic part, that it sends a very strong signal to the Iranian authorities that you will be held accountable. We are watching. And it increases the political cost of what the regime is doing with the people. As I say, that's why they shut down the internet. They don't want to pay this high price. And they also at the same time
how does it increase the political cost? I mean, what does the regime care that the U.S. voted for this resolution?
So you see, I think most dictators, and especially now the Islamic Republic, they don't want the world to talk about them, to talk about the atrocities. I can tell you, in the last 40 years, the few times they have been forced to make to step back or to make slight improvements in the situation of human rights, it has been because of the high political costs. The latest one was in 2017 when they were forced to change the law for the anti-narcotic law, which led to a strong decrease in the number of executions. The fact that they don't do stoning of women anymore, although it is in the law, it is also the high political price, because the Iranian regime still wants to maintain some kind of relations with the world. They depend on it, and they know that if they do things like this, no country will be willing to deal with them. Just the few countries that vote no, and this is where it's going. So this is the political cost, that they know that the world cannot close its eyes on such atrocities, and it will cost the Iranian regime. But there are also practical parts of this resolution, and that's a fact-finding mission. So this fact-finding mission, it maybe Iran is not, the Islamic Republic is not going to cooperate with them, but it obliges the UN to put resources in documenting what is going on. The work that human rights organizations like Iran Human Rights is doing now, much of it will be done by the UN. They are going to have a large number of staff working specifically on what is going on during this protest. They are obliged to give report, and the evidence that they collect, it can be used to put those responsible for the atrocities on trial. So it is an actual practical step. So Iranian regime sees that it will have more consequences, beyond the condemnation and just increasing the political cost.